I'm here with Gainesville resident Brandon Futch. He's an entrepreneur of many small businesses around the area, and he is here to enlighten us a little bit on what he's accomplished.
All right, yeah, so as Jamie said, my name is Brandon. Gainesville resident, basically born and raised here. Went to high school here in the area, and then right after that, went to Santa Fe College. At the time it was Santa Fe Community College, but I went to Santa Fe College, got my AA degree from there. I then went on to UF, University of Florida, where I got my bachelor's degree in telecommunications production. Upon graduating, I'd already had a bunch of jobs. I'd already had a full-time job that I was working all through college. I dabbled in a bunch of kind of smaller jobs, but right out of, I guess, during college at UF, and then right out of college UF, I was on the radio at Magic 101.3 here in Gainesville, WTMG. Was on there for 2 years, had my own weekend radio show. I've done have my own voiceover business where I do voiceovers for commercials, a lot of imaging, a lot of DJ drops for DJs and artists, things like that, radio commercials. I've also owned a couple nightlife websites for the Gainesville area where we advertise drink specials, dining specials, coupons, daily deals, things like that. But then also on top of all that, I've had a mobile entertainment business, which some of my basic setup is back here today. But I started that off right out of high school. 2000, graduated in 04 from high school. 05 was whenever I started the mobile entertainment business, and that's kind of lasted all the way up until now. And here I am.
Right. You said it's been 8 years since you've basically started your DJing business, right, which has branched into many others. Mm-hmm. How did you get started with all of it? What piqued your interest to start DJing, to start helping others with entertainment?
I guess you could say the main thing was right out of high school. I went through what not all people go through, but most young adults, I guess you could say, where you go through a bit of a party phase. And so, I was actually basically a saint in high school, but out of high school, I kind of broke out of my shell and started going to parties and different things like that. And I noticed about a year after I graduated, all of the house parties, different things that I went to, the music was terrible, terrible. It would always be some guy sitting over, whether it be a house party or outside in a field, it didn't matter. There was some stereo set up, and there'd be a guy over there with a CD player basically, and he'd be just clicking through each song. And so a song will come on, and everybody, yes, great song, ah! And then 15 seconds will go by, and nope, no, go to the next. And go to the next. And so then you get pissed off at this guy, whatever, and it was right there that I just decided, the heck with this. I'm going to start my own DJ business. I'm going to buy some equipment, and that's kind of where it started as far as that's concerned. And then from there, things just branched off. People started telling me, oh, you got such an amazing voice, you should be in radio and doing voiceovers and da-da-da-da. And so then the radio thing happened, and then from there is whenever I got into voiceovers, and that's kind of what I went to school for telecom production. I figured, well, if I never use this degree, that's fine, but at least I went kind of in the field and in the direction, in the vicinity of all the things that I'm interested in doing as far as a career is concerned.
And it seems over the past 8 years, you have accomplished a lot. You are DJing and families, weddings, people you don't know are actually asking you to do these benefits. And you hosted an event downtown in Gainesville not too long ago, correct?
Yes.
As we all know, along with accomplishments and achievements come failures. Mm-hmm. Over the past 8 years, what have you faced and how have you overcome it?
In terms of my mobile entertainment business, I actually haven't had that many failures. I've always done things off of referrals, and business is actually pretty good, so that means that I'm doing pretty good. But in the beginning, like I said, I wanted to go and I wanted to buy equipment because all the parties that I went to had horrible music. Well, at a party, you can kind of get away with if your music messes up or whatever. But about a year or two after I originally bought all of my equipment, my cousins and I believe a younger aunt they all had weddings. They were all getting married. And so they were looking for someone to DJ their wedding. They weren't looking to spend a bunch of money. Oh, let Brandon do it. So I was able to basically be thrown to the wolves, but it was pretty cool because it was a family member's wedding. So in case I messed up, yeah, it sucks I messed up, but I was able to learn under basically a controlled, you know, situation where it wasn't going to be someone that had paid me, you know, $1,000 to do the wedding and I messed up. So there was just a couple things there. I remember one time at my cousin Macy's wedding, I had my laptop there, but I hadn't really been using it all that much, as far as had a bunch of music on it, and someone else had their laptop, and so we took my USB cord and plugged it into their laptop because they had this particular song. Well, for some reason, I can't quite remember who had that laptop, but they shut the laptop down. They closed the lid because they thought it would conserve battery, not knowing it was going to turn the song off. So in the middle of the father-daughter dance, the music just cuts out, obviously. So, again, no real repercussions from that. It was just a bit of an awkward moment. Other things are doing pretty well now.
That's awesome. Glad to see you have overcome your hiccups. However, I read about GainesvilleNightOut.com. Mm-hmm. It didn't seem to last very long. Mm-hmm. What happened with that?
So Gainesville Night Out was the first nightlife website that I actually owned with a partner. So we did kind of, you know, we advertised daily drink and dining specials, but then, you know, companies could come on and they could post, you know, any kind of event, post photos and videos and their menus and all this kind of stuff. It was actually a really cool website. But it was a bigger beast than me and my partner thought it was going to be. We thought, you know, because we both had full-time jobs and, you know, things on the side, we thought we'd be able to do it, you know, a few times a week and build it up kind of over a long period of time. Turns out it didn't work like that. I mean, this was a full-time job in itself. Kind of came to a point, it had been about a year, and we decided this is a kind of a point where we can sever our ties, and we decided to kind of go our separate ways. But again, amazing experience in terms of sales and advertising, marketing, all that stuff is concerned. So yes, the site did fail technically, but we gained tons of experience from it, so I don't necessarily consider it a failure completely.
It seems it makes it easier that you enjoy what you do.
Absolutely.
It's kind of a passion, a little bit of fun at the same time, especially getting down at weddings.
Indeed.
Those can always be fun. Your equipment is actually behind you for your mobile entertainment business. Would you care to show us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. Alright, so this is basically a very simplistic version. It's not all prettied up like it usually is, but this is kind of the things that make my equipment run, I guess you could say. So we got a laptop computer, obviously. I have an external sound card. Not a lot of guys use this, but I do because it gives you that extra crisp, you know, kind of theater sound. So that's my sound card, which then goes into my mixer. My mixer here, again, I have my laptop running into it, but you can have guitars coming out of this. You can have microphones. I usually have a microphone system set up right here. Microphone, this is, you know, you can have other mics coming out of these channels right here. So that's the mixer. From the mixer, it then goes into my amp. And then from my amp, it goes into my speaker, which is right down here. Now I usually run 2 speakers, but today, just to kind of show you some things, I'm only going to run the 1. But some guys have powered speakers. This is called a passive speaker, so you need the amp to be able to get power to it. So that's that. So yeah, with all that being said, kind of your dolly chain, computer, mixer, amp, into your speaker. I got my channel running right here from my laptop into this channel. So this is the volume knob right here. I'm going to jam some Justin Timberlake, and you got some But yeah, how it is. And then from there, you know, from then your basic equipment setup is just your personality on the microphone, how you handle yourself at weddings.
All right. Well, thank you, Brandon. We really appreciate you talking to us and showing us a little bit of what you do.
Absolutely.
Could you give us a ball and B sign off?
Why not? Thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a good one, and we'll see you next time.